Max Harris. This is the iPhone 6 review, and today we're going to be asking a few questions. Was the performance of this iPhone like compared to other flagship phones in 2020? Where would you purchase this and how much for? And considering all these factors, is this phone worth purchasing in 2020? Now, we'll start with the performance region. The performance of this phone is mediocre at best. It has 2GB of RAM, the Apple A9 processor from 2015, the year this phone was released. It currently is on iOS 13 and will only have one more software update, which is 2020's iOS 14. It's got a 4.7-inch IPS display with a resolution of 750 by 1334 pixels, which is, it's alright, it's not even 1080p, which I guess is not an issue when you've seen phones like the iPhone XR, which didn't have 1080p because the PPI was which is the pixels per inch density of the pixels, was very high, so you wouldn't see the pixels as much. And this, it's 326 PPI, which is alright. I don't really know. I don't have a great idea of what PPI looks like, but what I can say is you can quite easily see the individual pixels of the screen, especially if you look really close at the device, which is not something that you'll see on other phones. Comes in storage capacities of 16GB, 32GB, 64GB, and maxing out at 128GB, which is the most expensive version of this phone you can get. It's got 1715 mAh battery life, which you probably won't be hitting, as iPhones are not sold brand new by Apple anymore, which means you'll have to get this phone secondhand if you don't already own one, and regardless, the battery health is going to be decreased. Like on my iPhone 6s, it's at 80% battery life, which means you're only getting 80% of the 1715 mAh, which is still mediocre. And considering how intensive the latest operating system is on this device, you won't be getting the same battery life that it used to, and it's just going to be overall really alright. Now, you've got a 12 megapixel back camera, which is capable of 4K at 30 FPS, 1080p at 60, which is what you want, 1080p at 120, and 720p at 240 FPS for that buttery smooth slow motion. Now, the selfie camera is 5 megapixels, and that's okay, it does the job done. You got your Instagram stories, Snapchat streaks, anything you want, and it records at 1080p 30. Now, it does have NFC for Apple Pay. This is the device for Apple Pay. It also has Touch ID. I'm pretty sure it's Generation 1 Touch ID, which means it's still going to be fast enough for anyone. It is it's the last iPhone to actually have the 3.5mm headphone jack, which I guess if you are going to be buying this phone and you like headphone jack, there you go, right there. It's still got the lightning port. Now, it's only got a single speaker. It doesn't have the dual speaker system that the iPhone 7 later had. You've only got the single lens with the camera, as I said, as in new phones have dual lens cameras for telephoto and wide, or in the case of the iPhone 11 Pro, ultra wide as well. So it's 3 cameras, so pretty behind in the camera department. Now, altogether, with the CPU and the RAM combined, which is one of the main things you'll be looking at here, you can get probably most of the things you'll be doing. It can't do any intense gaming, but that's, if you're looking for that specifically, this is clearly not the case for you. It can do things like Snapchat, Instagram, all your social media, Google texting, YouTube. If you want those things, this can get it done easily. Now, the main issue for the common person is the battery life and the camera, because those are going to be lacking. But if you can get around that, there's not too much to complain about this phone in terms of the performance region. Purchasing this phone. This phone, as I said, it cannot be purchased from Apple brand new any longer, so they have to get a second hand, which means you'd be looking on places like eBay, or I think I don't know where, but there's also a place called Craigslist, and maybe even Amazon. I don't know, probably not, but you can get this phone, if you look around, you can get this phone for well under from 50 to 150 bucks, depending on what storage model you choose, which is absolutely fantastic considering all the specs you get and it's a decent enough performance for $150. As far as iPhones go, this is a great cheap option. Overall, for $150, or depending around that 150 to 100 area of price, considering all that and all the specs you're getting for that, is quite good. This is, as far as iPhones go, this is a great option if you're trying to get in for budget. Now, if you're going for long term, or you're not looking into upgrading soon, or this is only getting one more software update, which means you've got, considering it is currently, as I'm recording this, the 3rd of February, 2020, you're not going to get much support. You're only going to get, I'm saying, probably about 8 months before the last software update. So yeah, if you want this for long term, then maybe not. But if you don't mind not having support, and you're not going to use this for anything intensive, and you don't need a great camera, and the battery life doesn't bother you, I'd say if you're the average user, this is a great phone for you. If you're anything other than that, you'd have to search for a new phone. I'd say the iPhone 7 or the iPhone 8, or you can go to an Android side of things, but that's also not great if you're looking for software updates in long term. So yeah, thank you for watching. Overall, my opinion is, I'd say yes, the iPhone 6s is worth it in 2020.